Pause this video and look at this image. This is the Sahara Desert, taken from space. Those green patches? Not a glitch, not Photoshop, not from 1,000 years ago. They're from right now. For most of us, the Sahara means one thing: empty. 9 million square kilometers of nothing, larger than the entire United States. But here's what nobody told you. The Sahara has been green before. People lived there, fished there, raised families there. Not millions of years ago, thousands. And right now, it's starting to happen again. But before you celebrate, there's a catch. Because this greening could save millions of lives, or trigger a catastrophe no one sees coming. Between roughly 11,000 and 5,000 years ago, scientists call it the African humid period. The Sahara wasn't a desert. It was alive. Rivers, forests, hippos, crocodiles, elephants in the Sahara. Earth's orbital wobble had pushed the West African monsoon deep into North Africa. Rain poured into what is now sand. Lake Megachad swelled to roughly the size of Germany. Today, it's a dying puddle. Back then, an inland sea, and the proof is on the walls. On the Tassili Unajavar Plateau in Algeria, ancient people painted their lives onto rock. People swimming, cattle grazing, children playing near rivers, in the middle of what is now the most lifeless place on the continent. For thousands of years, the Sahara wasn't just habitable, it was home. Until the wobble shifted back. Around 5,500 years ago, everything reversed. The monsoon weakened, rain decreased, and then something devastating kicked in. The key to understanding everything happening today. The vegetation albedo feedback loop. Here's how it works. Greenland is dark. It absorbs sunlight, heats the air, pulls in moisture from the ocean. More moisture means more rain. More rain means more plants. A cycle that feeds itself. But in reverse, plants die. Bare sand reflects sunlight. Air stays cool. Moisture doesn't come. Less rain. More plants die. More sand. The Green Sahara didn't die slowly. It collapsed. Recent research suggests some regions flipped from savanna to desert in decades. A quiet apocalypse. Millions of people were forced to migrate. Many archaeologists believe this exodus helped create ancient Egypt. People didn't choose the Nile. They fled to it because the Sahara was dying around them. The Green Sahara became a memory, then a myth, then nothing. But that feedback loop, it never disappeared. It's still there, waiting to spin in either direction. Remember that. The 1970s and 80s were catastrophic for the Sahel, the semi-arid belt along the Sahara's southern edge. Devastating droughts, hundreds of thousands dead. The desert appeared to be advancing. The word on everyone's lips, desertification. Then something no one predicted happened. As satellite technology matured, scientists noticed an anomaly. The Sahel was getting greener. Rainfall increased 10 to 20% compared to the drought years. NASA confirmed it. The European Space Agency confirmed it. Peer-reviewed studies confirmed it. Pairs of the Sahara's edge were coming back to life. Shrubs, grasses. Then, in some areas, trees. But why? 3 forces are converging. First, shifting rainfall. Warmer Atlantic Ocean temperatures are energizing the monsoon, pushing rain further north. Second, CO-K fertilization. Higher carbon dioxide makes plants more water efficient. They can grow in drier conditions than before. But this has hard limits, and it reduces the nutritional quality of crops. It's real, but it's not a silver lining. Third, and most powerful, the feedback loop is flickering back on. More rain plus more efficient plants equals more green cover. More green absorbs more heat. More heat pulls in more moisture. The upward spiral, the same one that made the ancient Sahara green, is starting to spin again. But the most powerful force in this story isn't atmospheric. It's human. This is the part that should make headlines but never does. In the 1980s, while the world watched the Sahel die on television, a farmer in Niger named Yakuba Sowadogo did something that billion-dollar programs couldn't. He grew a forest. With holes in the ground, Yakuba used zai pits, Small holes filled with compost that capture scarce rainwater and concentrate nutrients. Seeds germinate. But then he added something else. He stopped clearing brush. He let existing root systems in the soil regrow. The roots had been there all along, beneath the dead surface, alive, waiting. This became farmer-managed natural regeneration, FMNR. Don't plant new trees. Protect the living roots already hiding in degraded soil. Let nature do what it knows. In Niger alone, an estimated 200 million trees regrew across 5 million hectares, an area the size of Costa Rica. Not plantations. Diverse native ecosystems. Trees that fix nitrogen, increase crop yields, restore soil, hold water. Yakuba won the Right Livelihood Award in 2018. A farmer. No formal education. No funding. No technology. Just a hoe and the belief that life was still hiding beneath the sand. The most important environmental breakthrough of the last 50 years didn't come from a lab. It came from a man who listened to the ground. In 2007, the African Union scaled this thinking into the Great Green Wall, an 8,000-kilometer land restoration network stretching across the continent. It's not a literal wall of trees anymore. It's a mosaic of local solutions. Agroforestry in Senegal, terracing in Ethiopia, FMNR in Niger. Progress is uneven. Conflict, underfunding, and politics slow everything. But the work continues, village by village, root by root. Now here's what no one wants to hear. This greening sits on a knife's edge. The numbers first, we're talking about 3 to 5% of the Sahara showing measurable greening. The vast interior remains brutal and lifeless. But for 300 million people in the Sahel, that 3 to 5% is the difference between eating and starving. And it could vanish. Climate models disagree on what happens next. Some predict continued monsoon strengthening. Others predict collapse. Population pressure is exploding. Niger's population may triple by 2050. More people means more demand for farmland, firewood, and grazing. The very pressures that destroy new vegetation. Conflict. Boko Haram, resource wars, governance failures make sustained conservation nearly impossible across large parts of the Sahel. And the feedback loop works both ways. If enough vegetation is lost to drought, overgrazing, or fire, the loop flips. Sand reflects heat. Rain stops. The desert returns. It's happened before. It can happen again. The Sahara doesn't negotiate. 11,000 years ago, the Sahara was green. 5,000 years ago, it died. Right now, in this century, in this decade, it's trying again. Not everywhere, not permanently, not guaranteed, but in every root system hiding beneath dead soil, in every farmer who refuses to give up, in every satellite image showing one more pixel turning green. There's a question. Not whether the Sahara can come back. History proved it can. The question is whether we'll let it.